Hey, welcome everybody to my channel. This is Christelle Martinette. And first things first, we're going to check the sound. Can you please tell me if there's an echo like last time or if it's okay? Can you write to me if there is an echo? Is there an echo? Is there an echo? Is there an echo? Let me sound our steel tongue drum. Yeah, Susan, hello. Tell me if there's an echo. Let's start calling the drum, Sarah. No echo, great. Okay, good. Thank you, everyone. Now, before we get into this, this is James Gandolfini, many of you know as being the main actor for the Sopranos, this Italian-American TV series that went on for years and years until he passed away. And he was very much loved, quite different from his character on television. And so, and this, why am I doing this? Yes, there is an echo. Let me move the drum. Maria, you say there's an echo. Susan says there's none. Maybe because the drum is close. Let me move the drum. Okay. Is there an echo now? Just tell me now if there's the echo. I move the drum. I don't think so. Okay, perfect. Let's start. And since this is not a goddess, this is not the soul of a goddess, he may have been a master. We don't know. We'll have to ask. Yes, it is. Maria Joao is saying that there is an echo. Let's start. And I'll keep looking. There isn't. All right. There isn't. There is. There isn't. There is. There isn't. It is. It is. Okay, great. Let's start at the top. Priya, let me see what Priya asks. Hello, James. My question is, do you as a soul see time travel or time machine really working or exists? Or is it a myth? Is it used by scientists secretly or is it to be invented? All right. Let's see. Yes, time exists in the minds of man. It is an illusion. I can say it is an illusion, but an illusion that helps all of us understand what memory means and what experiences mean, and giving and making it possible for all of us to place our memories that are linked to time and space in a plane or dimension that we can refer to. Scientists use time also for this reason, to study, but they, more than any of us, of you, understand that time is rather an illusion, one of the most celebrated illusions of your life. And chances are you will never understand what this means. Just think that time doesn't exist. For example, there could be 3 or 4 of you that exist at the same time in a different dimension. On one dimension, one of you is ill. In another dimension, the other is not. And what is interesting and important for you to know is that many times during your life, it's distracting me, the noise of the computer, just a moment. I have to turn the sound off here. Oh, okay. When you have problems or issues or are feeling ill, when you feel calamities strike, this may often be another one of you who exists in another dimension, but they all need healing in different places, dimensions, and spaces. Okay. All right. Let's see. I always have to go back and listen to this because, let's see. Bhagya Nirmani. Hi, James. My question for you is, how will the political interference from America and China affect Sri Lanka in future? It is not only Sri Lanka to be affected, but all countries. And Sri Lanka, even if it is so small, can and does influence other countries. But you do not see this as clearly as larger countries. You ask how, and I can only say that it is not just economically. Politically and economically go hand in hand because what follows is militarily. Sri Lanka will always enjoy a certain amount of freedom and calm, unlike many other countries in the area. The key word here is relative calm. Other countries will be influenced by China and the United States much, much more. Why is this so? Because policies made, agreements signed, and understandings that emerge always affect the way the world goes round and all of the countries on this earth. But it is as if you were asking me, I am a child, one child of 10 in my family. If my oldest brother marries, how will that affect me? This is the same type of question. Undoubtedly, you may have more responsibilities in relation to your brothers and sisters and to your parents. The same notion goes for countries. Okay. Looking around for my glasses. All right. We have a nice calm. Oh, before we go on, I have to tell you, we just got news in this country, in Italy, that tomorrow morning our country leader, the president, will be speaking, and we are headed toward a 75% lockdown. Gyms, pools, all those are going to be closed as of Monday. On the weekends, restaurants will be closing. There are curfews in various different cities all over Italy. And what else can I say? What else can I say? Tomorrow's the last day. I'm going to dive into the swimming pool and just remember it, try to remember it as much as I can. Let's see. Nirvana bliss. Dear James, the old Egyptians were fond of the afterlife, but I heard from Cryon that those who have passed over can't wait to reincarnate again. How do you find this note? Is this your case? Thank you. Yes and no, because what you have that I no longer have, because I am not reincarnated now, is you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. But when it's good, it's very good. And when it's bad, it could be very bad. I can explain this by saying, being on earth is as if you're always at Las Vegas. You're betting your life away. Everything you do, every decision you make is a bet, literally. And when you win very, very much. But when you lose a lot. And these are surprises that we don't have, that I don't have and don't feel. But yes and no. You grow old on earth. You feel pain on earth as you do feel happiness. And it's very difficult when you are on earth to reconcile philosophically the notion that pain comes, but also joy is there. So I have to say yes and no. Let me see. I can't read without. All right. Sharmi. Hello, James. Is Santa Claus an imaginary character, or does he really exist with magical power? If not, what is it that makes Christmas very special? What really happens on Christmas? Okay. Please do not ask me to tell you if Kris Kringle exists. I will not say that, but I can tell you the magic of Christmas. The magic of Christmas, for many, lies in religious writings, lies in your beliefs, lies in those you trust and the faith that you have. We all are children once again because we know that when Christmas comes, everyone is good again. There are also, of course, many people who are alone and who do not celebrate and who do not live in any condition to feel either health or happiness. But as I just said, life gives you both good and bad. Christmas gives you a break from the swinging lantern of good and bad. This, I think, is the magic, because our beliefs cross our heart's feelings, and it's the head that meets the heart that creates the magic that you are talking about for those who celebrate Christmas or something similar to that. Well, I think Gandolfini was a Roman Catholic, I believe. Let's see. Geetha, love from India. Can you please explain God? Be it Jesus, Allah, Hindu, God, are they all one? They say God is the highest form of energy. Is it true God comes on human body and talks and preaches? This is what is preached in India, or and preaches in India, I believe. This question is more difficult than talking about Kris Kringle and Santa Claus. I'm laughing. Look, God is energy, a source from which you can believe your soul derived. Your soul, and part of your soul, has its own God and divinity in it. You are all perfect beings. There is the Trinity in many religions, where there is a God, a Jesus, and a Holy Spirit, but it varies from one religion to another. What I can say for an audience that is mixed is that God resides within us all, within you all. The problem emerges that not everyone believes their perfection exists and that they are divine and that they too have divine powers. If I were to ask you who are listening to me, how many of you believe you have divinity in you, I see you scratching your head. So let's say that this is a talk that's quite profound, quite detailed, and would take a very, very long time to complete. Again, I have to go back and listen to this because I don't remember anything that was said. Priya asks, does the law of attraction really work? Is it a boon to mankind? Thank you. Many are not aware of. A boon to mankind that many are not aware of. Let's see. Every moment in history, and this includes the concept of time, every moment in history has words for the notion of attraction, of magic, of creation, of bringing about events and occurrences. There is magic in believing. And that is another way of saying the law of attraction. Many people believe there are a number of universal laws, and attraction is one of them. However, this too equals words on a page and are someone's words. I can say that there truly is magic in believing, and it links to the question about Kris Kringle and Santa Claus and the magic of that holiday. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Let's see. Time to have a drink of water. Joan, welcome. If you have a choice to do something else, if you had a choice to do something else in your life besides acting and producing film, what would it have been? Although you were magnificent, I must say. Okay. Yes, there is. Yes, there was. I always dreamt of being a pilot. I wanted to fly planes since I was a very small child. But it didn't happen because the road I traveled took me somewhere else. But the notion of flying and the dream of flying stayed with me until my death. Let's see. Good food life. I believe that once we die, we do realize many things. What do you think is the is the most important thing to cherish about being on earth? Is it love? Yes, it is love, but that too is a very broad word. It is the emotion that's linked to love and to every experience that we have. The most important thing, and why we return to Earth, is to have and feel those emotions linked to our experiences. Your heart pounding, the butterflies in your stomach, hands shaking before you have to speak in front of an audience. Those are moments that everyone remembers, and that's what it means to be alive. Okay. So I'll remember that when when I'm crying one day. Okay. Let's say, Sharmi, in India and many countries, intercaste marriages are a big matter. Do you think it's important to marry love in our life in spite of different castes and creed is important in life? What is your opinion? Okay. Whether you have to follow your heart or you have to follow your social tradition and religious tradition. I think that's the question. No, I think there is a decision that we all make. I do not believe decisions are made for us. There's always a decision, even in complacency. If you live in a family that tells you openly, I forbid you to marry outside of your caste, the next day you can leave your home and disappear. If you decide to stay, that is your decision. And there is no one who is tying you to a chair or imprisoning you. I understand it is very difficult in countries like India, of course, but still there is free will, and even remaining within your own caste is a decision. What would I do? I am only very happy that I was not in that position. I don't know what I would have done, but I believe I would have opted to become a pilot and fly away. It's even funny. It's so humorous. Nirvana Bliss. Why is there so much chaos in 2020? As if the virus wasn't more than enough. There are natural disasters and human corruption in Lebanon, India, and now France. What shall we do to bring Gaia to heal Mother Earth? Prayer is very powerful, like the power of believing. And prayer in the masses creates an extremely strong, energetic phenomenon that truly can move mountains. But unfortunately, the majority of people on the earth are not prone to do this and do not believe in the power of their beliefs. And what is even more difficult is that they don't realize their own power. They have the power to change things and do not need to wait for others to do that for them. Like someone said, after you pass, you know many things, you learn many things, and you understand many things. This is one of the things that I understood as well. Okay. Let's see. 2020, there's going to be some celebration at the end of the year. Let's see. Gary for Grace. Is it true a new virus or new viruses are coming next year or 2023? Also, which new energy is being developed? Okay, I think there are two questions there. Let's see what I can get here. Yes. There will be new viruses, different from this virus, but there will always be some form of health hazard and health emergency. Energy will come from the earth in new forms. Over the next 10 years, you will find that there will be mining once again for new sources of energy. And this will create extremely difficult clashes among the people on the earth. Scientists as well will clash in relation to the type of illnesses that come with new viruses. And politicians of different countries will almost go to war because of the new sources of energy. What you are seeing today is a form of polarization of people's beliefs, black or white, right or left, light or dark. Even though this brings clarity to many, it also brings incomprehension to everyone. And this is going to be the biggest problem of the future, literally trying to understand each other. Wow, that is a first. That stung in my ears. I'll remember that one. Let's see. Priya asks, is James happy where he is? Yes and no, as I said before, because I still want to be a pilot and wasn't last lifetime. I will return to Earth, but not for a long time now. Okay, let's see. Let's say Nirvana Bliss asks, usually villain characters are hated by the masses, but in your case, it is different. It was different. Why was that? I think it was because most of the episodes and movies and stories that I worked with centered around family relations. And all of you know that families have secrets and lies they tell each other. And it was very true to life. It showed part of an ugly world, but also part of a real world, and how those characters too had a conscience. And those characters too had families. I believe that when people see violence on screens, it helps them to experience parts of their souls that they don't experience in their own lives. Let's see. Our tracker, do people have regrets after they die? If so, why? And what can we do to prevent them? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And to prevent them, the only thing I can suggest is to try to experience what your heart and mind tells you to do, respecting those around you, but also embrace the idea that it is impossible to experience everything in only one lifetime. Okay. Okay, let's see. Can you tell us if America is going to be better in the future? I gather this is North America, United States. Yes, it is. It will return to being a destination for many people in other areas of the world, and it will return to being a country where others in other parts of the world would like to visit. Up until now, the United States has always been fascinating for other countries. But what moves people away from coming to that country is the political ideas and controversies and contradictions of that country. And this is going to change in the future, but the United States will also have different problems that it does not have now. Poverty will still be an extremely serious issue in the United States. It will take many, many years for that country to solve that problem. Okay. Gary, for Grace, any natural disasters like earthquakes, when and where? This is a loaded question. It's as if you are asking me to tell you everything bad so you can prepare. But I will not fall in your trap because I prefer talking about Santa Claus. Santa Claus. I prefer talking about Santa Claus. You have to understand that natural disasters exist all over the world, and they are to be expected. Small or great, they are to be expected. In very warm areas of the world, the countries there are going to be hit the hardest. It is the hotter areas of the world that will experience more natural disasters. And that's all I want to say about that. That was very clear. Maria, this virus, I believe, was man-made. When will the world go back to normal? There are two schools of thought. One, that it is man-made, and one, that it was not. I think the truth is somewhere between these two things. And no, we will be going back to a new form of normal. We're going to go forward, not back to normal, to forward to a new form of normal. It is astounding for me to say, and I'm sorry to say this, but man makes most disasters occur on the earth. In some way or another, policies that have changed wildlife, decisions that cause climate calamities are all linked in one way or another to the work of man. Okay. Vims Lacey. Does eating meat, chicken, fish affect our spiritual growth, ascension, or becomes a barrier in soul's liberation in the afterlife? Interesting question. Here too, it's yes and no, the answer. It does not block ascension. It does not affect your afterlife. But depending on your metabolism and your beliefs and your lifestyle, it can affect your health first of all and your spirituality secondly. I mean that the way you think is linked to the way you live and to what you believe. So yes, of course, it will affect it. But by this, I am not saying that a meat eater is less spiritual than a vegetarian. No. In this sense, it doesn't have any effect on what you ask. Okay, a couple of more questions. Let's see. Hi, Anita from South Africa. Welcome. Hello, James. Namaste. Corona is man-made to control humans. We just answered, I believe that in part. And I found online that in future we will be controlled through our DNA. Is this true? Yes. You are controlled to a certain degree already because of your DNA. This is natural. And I mean natural in the sense that it is a natural development of human intelligence. The notion of control is an open concept and merits a very long discussion. You can control a child's life because a child depends on you for their survival. You may depend on another person because they feed you and you do not work. Can we call that control? This is food for thought, and it's about philosophy and different ways of thinking here. Okay, let's see. Sin. I volunteer at an animal sanctuary. They have personalities. They have certain personalities, the animals. Love cuddles, show care to the other sick or injured animals. Should humans really be killing these kind animals and eating them? No, is my first response. But think of what it means to survive. And survival comes in many colors and shapes and sizes today, depending on your standard of living and where you live. Every question asked of me has asked about my opinion. And I can say that there are reactions that occur, some positive and some negative. But I cannot say that this is borne out by scientific research. The word society and social are two words that are being called into question by the virus today. We find all of a sudden that we need other people when we cannot see them. We feel the importance of eating meat, for example, when there is no meat to eat. We are odd animals ourselves, but part of us is the importance of being social. And I can tell you what I believe about meat and animals and eating them, but I would have to also talk about people eating other people, which in many areas of the world is very common. In some areas of the world, it is linked to a form of sacred thought and is one of the highest forms of gratitude and is part of many sacred rituals. Forgive me for not telling you an answer that is polarized, black or white, good or bad. But I cannot now. Do you understand that? I'm going to have to go back and listen to that one. Let's see. Nirvana asks, was Sushant a saint or in a past life? Because this mass devotion must have reason, don't you think? He was not in a past life a high priest or a master or a higher spirit. No. He was important, I believe, because he had a quality of energy that was so different and enthusiastic for people coming from that area of the world. His life and the energy that he had was sacred. Energy is spiritual. His soul was light. He gave off light. He reflected light. What you saw was his light. Remember, I said, we all have God in us. We are divine. Link this to my answer for this question, and you will understand me. Oh, let's see. I'm going to answer one more question. 92, Balthazar. What does 2021 hold in store for Ireland? A rather serious economic crisis, it will get worse than the economy now in Ireland. There will be a number of scandals that emerge linked to religion. And a few stories will emerge that are linked to deaths in the past. "2021 will be a year where there will be very many new births in the country, which will change the population. Mixed marriages will be far more common in Ireland next year. But the sad part of 2021 is that many people will feel that coming together, their marriage, their love, their families, will make them feel that they are not belonging in some way to that family nucleus. Perhaps this is part of a crisis of the family in that country. Okay, let's get this off the screen and let me thank all of you who have come to listen and joined me, and I will be back during the week with the monthly readings for each individual sign, sun, moon, and rising sign for the month of November. We're getting into November. Please stay safe. Please stay safe. I miss so much. I was supposed to go back to India. I wanted to go back to India this year. I couldn't. I wanted to go back to the United States. I couldn't. I would even like to just go to Germany to see my son, and I can't. I can't. Stay safe, ladies and gentlemen, and stay well. Give thanks for what you have and what you are and what you do. Give thanks. Bye-bye. Until we read together again, as I always say, bye-bye.